Adding a phone number in Flash Intel is a very straightforward process. Just come to the top right blue icon, Settings, and on the left here, scroll down to Phone Numbers, which is under Organization, and you'll have an option to add a group of phone numbers. What this does is allows you to assign multiple phone numbers to one person in one go. Or if you want to have the numbers shared across the team, you could also just add all of your phone numbers in one go. So I'll just click here to add a number group. And I'm going to call this Paul's phone numbers. Or I'll just put Paul's numbers. And I'm going to choose numbers from the United States. And shake and stir registration, what this does is it just registers your number with the FCC, and it reduces your chances of getting marked as spam. So I'll show you where to set up the shake and stir afterwards. So here, you can either assign a user. In this case, I'm going to assign myself. If it's unassigned, the number will be shared across the team. So if it looks like this means that any phone numbers that you set up on this go, they will be able to be used by anyone in the dialer that has an account on Flash Intel. And they can even make calls at the same time. So this is an important decision to make, because if you assign the phone number, and let's say I'm going to assign myself the phone number right now, when I make calls using whatever phone numbers that I set up right now, when the person who received that call calls that number back, it's only going to be me that receives the call. But if you want to increase the chances of the call getting answered, you can keep it unassigned. And then when whatever user calls out, when the customer calls you back, that's going to ring on anyone that's available, on the accounts of anyone that's available. So it will just be whatever agent of yours gets to the phone first. But in this case, I'm going to assign myself the phone number. And I'm going to purchase one number, and you could choose what state you want to order the phone number for. I'm going to choose a phone number from Texas. And I want a 430 number. I also want to add a number from, let's say, New York. Great. So I'm just going to make a group of 2 phone numbers. I don't need to add a whole bunch. This is just a demonstration. So I actually don't have permission to add these numbers, but this is just for an example. If you're the administrator on your account, you will have permission. So that's how you would add phone numbers. So navigate to Calls, Parallel Dialer, and you'll see that I already have some contacts in here. If I wanted to add contacts to the dialer to call, I could do that a couple ways. One is to click on Import, choose the file, and I could just choose my file right here. And it will prompt you to match the match the headers of the document that you're uploading. So just go ahead and match those. And match the company name and match my LinkedIn URL. And here it's going to ask you to create a shortcut. So you could think of a shortcut as a filter on the dialer that filters down the numbers you want to call that day. So you saw that I already had a few contacts in there, but I'm going to call this Paul Monday because today's Monday and I want to make calls to Paul on this today. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. And you'll see that the one contact has been added to the dialer. So now when I come back here, you'll see that I just added myself at the top there. And if I filter down to Paul Monday, it's only going to have the one that I just added. So excuse me, I said I just added myself at the top there, but I just uploaded a CSV of myself. The the contact you see here, that was added from within our platform. So that's another way that you can add data, and I'll cover that in another video when we make lists from the data platform, which is here. we would come to people data, and we can make lists just as you would in something like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, except we have phone numbers and we could add the people into the dialer all within our platform. So now that I have some data, or I should say some people or contacts in my dialer that I want to call. Oh, and by the way, you'll also see that if you click on the person's name, it will bring up some information about that person. You could click on their LinkedIn icon and it will go directly to their LinkedIn profile. This is for data that you uncover from within our platform. Sorry, this one. So that's for data that you uncover from within our platform. So you could also see their company, where the person's located, and so on. So here on the left is where I was mentioning the shortcuts. You would just click on this. I want to only call this person today. But actually, for the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to call all of these people because we can actually call multiple people at the same time. So I'm going to do 3x dialing and call 3 of these phone numbers. In this case, they're identical, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Here is where we would also choose the phone number group or select multiple phone numbers. So I could do that right there. I'm going to use my Canadian number because I'm calling Paul and he's in Canada. So let's go down here and local presence mode. This would be to connect to the, because you have multiple phone numbers that you could be calling from. So if I enable this, it's going to use the closest phone number to that person to call. And here I could select the amount of time it will bring before it skips to the next contact in your list. Auto connect to humans only. That means that we're going to skip answering machines. And when that's on, you'll notice if I toggle this off, and I toggle it on again, there will be an option to add voicemail. Because when we auto connect to humans only, it automatically leaves a voicemail. Auto skip contacts that have been contacted in the past 7 days. You can turn that off if you want to call people back on the same day. We can also adjust the number of days. And connection errors, that's just if there's any errors in the call. That's for like technical reporting issues. You wouldn't really have to use that. But if you do experience a problem with your quality of sound or something, you could turn this on and then send the error to your customer success manager. And auto SMS, that's going to drop an SMS if the person doesn't answer the phone. So you could enable that if you like to. And here is the voicemail that I mentioned. So when auto connect to humans only is on, you'll have the option to drop your recorded message that you've put in the settings. So I'll go ahead and start dialing by clicking on the icon at the top right here. Start dial. You'll see that it calls multiple people at the same time. Hello. So you'll see that's what it looks like when the call is connected. It's going to show whatever variables that you brought in. So here I imported some custom variables. You could see that they would be displayed. So let's end this call. Oh, and you can see while you're on the call, you can actually take notes by clicking on this icon here. So when you click this icon, I'm talking to Betty here, and I say, hi, said call back on Friday, for example, because they're interested, but they want me to call back Friday. So if I go and log this call, the call is now over. I can either resume dialing or end all of my calls. So I'll end this session.